Hi, my name is Miriam Bernabei, and I'm a volunteer here at Greenburgh Town Hall. Today, it's my pleasure to be speaking with Bob Volin and Ada Barr from the Color Camera Club of Westchester. Some of their members' outstanding work is currently on display in our gallery space. They'll be telling us more about their organization and the photographs featured in this exhibit. Welcome, Bob and Ada. I'm delighted to be speaking with you. I'm just interested in you have the Color Camera Club of Westchester, and it's located in Tarrytown, I believe. Can you tell me about the club, like how it started and what its mission is, and how you got involved?
So actually I can't. The club has been around a very long time. I think it probably goes back to the 50s, but I'm not certain of that. I didn't get anywhere near it until 2017. And if there's a written history of the club, I have no idea where it might be. So clearly, at the beginning of the club, it would have had a lot of people who did darkroom film and that kind of thing. Digital, I think, didn't exist when the club started.
Wow.
Now I'm not sure that anybody works with chemicals in a darkroom anymore. I certainly don't hear about it from anybody. So it's a club that is for amateurs. There have been professionals in the club from time to time, but they are, to my knowledge, have never been dominant, and certainly aren't now. We're at very different stages of ability and comfort with our skills, and even with our aspirations towards what we want to do. And we try to teach each other. So our mission basically is, we're a group of people who just love taking pictures and actually enjoy sharing our pictures with other people. Otherwise, why would you be in a group? Yeah. It's just, it's almost like any other social club with a particular interest. I think we're not different from a chess club, except that we take pictures and show them, and we don't play chess.
There you go. And how often do you meet?
We meet every Monday night.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's pretty often, actually. So it is kind of social, I would bet, too.
Yeah.
Serve food at the club?
There is, and none of it's healthy. Yeah.
And how long have you been involved in the club?
I got involved in the club in 2017. And my story about that is actually pretty similar to a number of the people in the club. I'm a person who, took family snapshots and travel pictures. I look back at some of them now and realize what a horrible photographer I was. But when I retired, I wanted something that would force me to keep learning. And there's no way that photography doesn't fill that bill. There's always something else to learn. There's always another thing to try, and that sort of thing. So that's what I did. So I got into photography in a much more serious way. And then, because of that, decided to join a club.
Yeah, and now you're the president of the club.
Well, that's because I forgot to say no.
Yeah, you raised your hand. Just ask a question, and then it was all over. And Ada, how long have you been in the club?
From 2016.
Yeah.
I started to get a little more serious into photography when I started to notice that there are birds around and they are small, and you need a good camera. So when I was evolving as a birder, it was also as a photographer. And first time I just saw an advertisement for a field trip to photograph eagles in the Cotton Dam, and I joined. This was my first time. And since then, I saw that there are other activities and things. And
Nice. So is it open to people of all ages?
Yes.
Like young people, like teenagers and stuff even? Or?
We don't have any, but it's
but they can come if they want.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Great, that's very interesting. So you say that it's for mostly mostly amateur photographers, but you do occasionally get some professional photographers in there too. What kind of activities do you offer your members?
That varies. We bring in presenters, photographers who do various kinds of photography. We'll be talking about. We have one coming up about high key photography, which is where most of the pictures is white or close to white, and then there are a few contrasty things. So there are different kinds of techniques, or or perhaps how to take better landscape pictures and that kind of thing. So it's a huge range.
Yeah.
So we have presenters, and this year we adopted a really interesting model that we're going to keep up, which is a presenter comes in, and we ask the presenter to not just show us their pretty pictures, but tell us how and why they take them. And that challenges us to try to take pictures along those lines. Then the presenter comes back and critiques our pictures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we're finding a lot of enthusiasm for that model.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that up. So that's one thing we do. We sometimes just share our pictures, maybe according to a theme of one sort or another, and it's just among us. We have competitions, both in digital and in print. We do field trips.
Nice. It sounds.
And we have a couple of parties.
Yeah, well, that sounds good too. Absolutely.
Did I forget anything?
No, I think you covered.
So I guess my question was going to be, what makes your club unique? Do you know what other clubs are like? Are there any other clubs out there that are?
There are plenty of clubs.
Yeah.
And there's a huge range. There are clubs, and I only know this because actually one of the photographers whose pictures you saw there decided to create a consortium of clubs. And now, so I go to their meetings, and so I know. So there are clubs that only meet on Zoom. There are clubs that are focused on competitions. There's another very large club down in Pennsylvania that has no competitions. They have tutorials, they have field trips, they have events. So there's really, so the range of things that I talked about that our club does pretty much encompasses the range of what other clubs do. All the way from very formal kind of approaches to competitions to hey, let's all get together and learn how to click this button.
And has it always been in Tarrytown where your meeting space is?
No. And so we're a group of people who live in Westchester, and you have to find a place to meet.
Right.
So we used to meet in a VFW hall pre-COVID, and that turned out to be not available to us after COVID finished, and we found the Tarrytown location. We like it a lot.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's by the town hall, I believe, right?
It's
the senior center.
The senior
it's
center.
a senior center, so it's in Pearson Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And well, there is an exhibit up here now, and it's beautiful. I just visited it, and I was wondering, I guess you weren't going for a theme. You were...
No, we were going for a theme. Sometimes we have exhibition without a theme, like photographer choice, but this time it is our county.
Oh, okay.
Westchester County.
Oh, nice. Well, yes, I see that theme going through, but very different representations.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
but everything was about Westchester County, one way or the other.
And I have to say that, so Ada, you're the curator. Did you work together to put the pictures up, or was that your decisions?
I don't want to let me.
Basically, I did it.
It just so beautiful the way it flowed, how you matched the pictures on the walls. I just really, that was gorgeous. So tell us about the photos and how they were selected for this. I mean, you have so many.
Basically, it's everyone can bring me 2 pictures of their choice, but that is related to the theme. So I don't say to anyone, this is not fit or anything. if this is their choice, it will be in the exhibit.
Okay.
And it's my job to try to find the right flow where to put them.
Yeah. Well,
But they bring different
you
things.
did a really good job. I really, every time I went to another wall, I was like, whoa, look how nicely that goes together. And it wasn't the same artist that made it so interesting. You guys had an opening recently. I wondered if you noticed any photo getting special attention, like the people were excited about it or something like that.
We have pictures of different styles, different content, some nature, some abstract. And we have a few stars also in our club. So one of them is Alan Cohen, who is doing a very unique work that is nothing that you can see in other places. So his picture is always a center of interest.
I remember that one was called Room with a View, right?
Yeah.
And it was, you said it was a collage, that's how he did it?
Yeah, it's a photo collage. So, you know, everybody knows collages where you take materials and you cut them out and you put them together in some way. And Alan told me not long ago that actually that's something that he did when he was a young man. But now every element of his collages started out as a photo. And he's got a very large library of random photos having different shapes, different colors, and that sort of thing. And when he decides to do a collage, he literally told me he goes through maybe 1,000 pictures.
Wow.
Scrolls through and says, "Oh, I think I'll take, it's not that, I'll take that one." And then he puts them together in really interesting and compelling ways.
Yeah.
So that's what Room with a View is.
Actually, I remember that we interviewed Alan and his wife Annette, and they had an exhibition in the library in Greenburgh, and it was outstanding. They really are both very, very amazingly talented people.
Yeah, right.
Now, you guys also have very beautiful photos in the gallery. Ada, you have, well, one of the ones that I especially liked was Sunset on the Bar. Can you talk about where that came from? What's the story behind it?
So in the winter, I am obsessed with the eagles on the Hudson. So I go to Verplank, which usually this is where they gather in the evening to fish. And I take a lot of pictures of the eagle, but sometimes the landscape is also beautiful. Mm-hmm. And this was sunset, and the marina that usually is just some sand and some small houses and some boat, looked so pretty. The color, the snow was blue, and the other things were really yellow. And there was also eagle there that was fishing. So I thought that the combination of the colors and the eagle were very interesting.
It was very beautiful. And you have a picture too. The first one I saw was Dinah Stone. And tell me about that and what's the story behind that?
So I've gotten recently an interest in abstract images. So there is a large structure that Alexander called a stabile. You remember he did mobiles, but it's stabiles with things that are solid on the ground.
Right.
So I took 3 pictures of that in camera, so that instead of seeing one of them, you see basically 3 of them kind of staggered. And then I took the colors that were there and enhanced them and played around with them a little bit. And then also got rid of the natural background and put a textured background in to make it, an interesting abstract work.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Now, do you guys, you talk about cameras, do you ever use your phones, or is that interchangeable with you, with the group, with everybody? Yes, it is?
Yeah, I'm using the phone.
Mostly, yeah.
People, I'm not good with taking pictures of people. They always complain, so.
And you use the phone too, or?
I use the phone. It's funny, I'm really good with a camera. I'm not so good with my phone. I think in lots of ways, if I'm going out to shoot in a particular location, then mostly what I use my phone for is to take 1 or 2 pictures to geotag the location, because my camera doesn't do that. But I also find it's more fun to shoot with a camera than a phone. So when I have both available, I use the camera.
And is that true of most of the people in the club? They do go back and forth, or?
There are some people who use only the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually interviewed a couple of photographers here who only use the phone, and I was always amazed, like, you did that with a phone. It's amazing.
Phones are so sophisticated
Yeah.
now. So, I mean, my phone can do quite amazing things. I can do multiple exposure with my phone.
Yeah.
I can take, raw images. Well, never mind what all of that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do very sophisticated stuff with a phone.
It's crazy. And I forgot to ask you, when we were talking about the club, is there a fee for people to join the club?
Oh, yes.
Is it a big fee?
Well, it depends. It depends on your
Circumstance.
your circumstances. But in fact, it's going up. So our annual dues have been, for a very long time, $75. But that pays for the speakers, it pays for the meeting room, and all of that.
Yeah.
And we just looked at this. The oldest record we have of dues is from 2013, and at that point we were paying speakers $40. Now we pay speakers $175.
Yeah.
So we need to raise them, and we're going to do that next year. So do you want to know the number?
Sure.
So right now it's $75 for the year.
Right.
But again, all those meetings, so it's cheap.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to 100.
I think that's still reasonable.
Yeah.
Shouldn't stop anybody from joining.
I think not.
Do you think being a photographer changes the way you see the world? You can both. Do you think that being a photographer changes the way you see the world?
I think I see more details. More interesting in details. Also, when I take a picture of something, I remember this place forever. People say that they don't like to take picture; they want to enjoy. For me, it's the same thing. Taking picture, I enjoy the view and I remember it.
Yeah. I'm thinking of one of the pictures that are up there of the train station, the stairs going up the train station. And so you really have to be somebody who's detailed to think, whoa, this would be a good picture, and it was. But I think that clearly, makes you look at the details and see things a little differently. What about you?
So I agree, and I think that's a perfect example. You see colors and shapes and lines, and not just the things that are there. And so you can see how something that's 3-dimensional can turn into something interesting that's 2-dimensional.
Yeah.
And I never looked at anything like that before. I never thought about it that way.
Right. Yeah. What did you do before?
I was a speech pathologist. I was a professor of speech pathology.
And what did you do?
I was a pediatrician.
Oh, wow, interesting. That's cool. Do you have any advice for beginners, besides joining the club and getting more information? Any advice for beginners about photography and how they might improve their work?
They have to practice.
Like, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice.
I would say the same. Go out and shoot and keep on shooting. And you know what? Just entertain yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? Make something that you like. And if you take a picture of something that you don't like, go back and take it again and make it something you like. And the more you do that, even if you have no technical ability at all, you will have a technical ability and artistic ability as well.
Yeah, that's great. And finally, what do you hope visitors will take away from viewing the exhibit that's downstairs?
That life is beautiful.
Well, that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
You have to agree with that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I agree with it too, and we certainly need some beauty in our lives these days. So thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed meeting you, and I love the exhibit, and I hope that folks will come and see it. I'm sure they will.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The photography exhibit is currently on display here at Town Hall, and it's a wonderful opportunity to experience the creativity and talent of local photographers. We encourage everyone to stop by and take a look, and perhaps even be inspired to pick up a camera themselves. Thank you again to Bob Volin and Ada Barr, and as always, thank you to Paul Feiner, Sarah Bracey White, Terrence Brosnan, and Sam Singer. See you next time as we continue to celebrate the arts in Greenburgh.